Alright guys, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but welcome back to the non-comic lineups. This is something me and my friend, the Mount Vernon kid, kind of go back and forth on, and while he's kind of turned into a segment, I still just do it for fun and whatever hits my fancy. And speaking of hitting fancy, I just recently watched Chris's newest video talking about a non-comic lineup of the Birds of Prey, and that really inspired me to make my own Birds of Prey, non-comic Birds of Prey lineup. So, yeah. Characters outside of Marvel and DC you'll be seeing in here, but yeah. Anyway, let's get started with the leader of this Birds of Prey lineup, and that's Bulma. Now, Bulma would definitely be like the team's oracle. She would also probably be the tech whiz. She'd be the one keeping the other 7 members, yeah, there's a total of 8 on this team. She'd be the one more or less in charge of keeping the team together, as well as helping them, stay connected, and also help them, do some repairs on their equipment. And yeah, a lot of people seem to forget that Bulma is not only, a pretty smart woman, but she's also a pretty decent fighter. Well, she was. She's also pretty handy with a gun, especially in her younger years. But even though I'm using a younger image of Bulma from Dragon Ball, I'm actually referring more to older Bulma. I'm actually referring to her when she's like in her late 20s, early 30s and married to Vegeta. That Bulma. But yeah, she'd be the one in charge. She'd be the one behind the computer screen, keeping track of everyone. Like I said, she'd be the team's oracle. So, yeah, I think she would, she definitely, even though she's probably one of the few members who doesn't have powers on this team, she'd be definitely keeping everybody in line. But anyway, so there you go. Leader of the team, Bulma. Following that is Kim Possible. Yep, Kim Possible for this team. Now, what I should have mentioned earlier is that you're going to be seeing a mixture of younger and older members on this team. A few younger, few older members here and there, and they're going to be spread out. But yeah, so Kim Possible would definitely be on a Birds of Prey team. I can see her as like the stealth member, the one who goes in first, like the scout, and also, is one of the younger members and really has to show that she's got a lot to offer to this team. So, with KP, I would imagine that she would be she'd clearly show that show to Bulma and the rest of her team that she would have a lot to offer to this group. And like I said, she would be the stealth member. She, obviously had years of training as a spy, so she'd be going in, doing infiltration, and then, reporting back or, taking out a few guys and letting the rest of the team in. So, yeah. Absolutely, I can see KP. I'm actually surprised, Chris, that you didn't jump, although you did use her for your non-comic Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lineup, but yeah, I'm surprised you didn't jump again to use her in a Birds of Prey lineup. So yeah, Kim Possible. Next up is Chun-Li. Now, Chun-Li is obviously a great martial artist. I guess you could say she would be the Black Canary of the team. But yeah, she's obviously, as you guys know, she's a detective for Interpol, and she's an excellent martial artist. So, having that detective mind to her, she'd definitely be a great asset, along with her martial arts abilities, and some of her, energy projectile attacks as well. She would definitely be a great asset to this team. I could even see possibly Bulma making her Chun-Li the field leader, honestly. I can see her, Bulma, telling Chun-Li, hey, you're going to be the field leader of this group, and I think she would handle it pretty well. She knows how to handle other soldiers, and she knows how to keep them in line. Plus, you do not want to be kicked by one of those legs. Seriously. You do not want to be hit by one of those you don't want to be hit by thunder thighs, basically. More like mountain thighs, actually, now that I think about it, because I would imagine being kicked by one of Chun-Li's legs would shatter someone's spine. Anyway, so with Chun-Li, there would be some tension, especially with a certain other member that will be coming up later on in the video. But yeah, I could definitely see her as, a great asset and, great detective. And, when things get rough, she'd just jump right in and kick some ass. Anyway, so there you go, Chun-Li. So following that is Helen Parr, aka Elastigirl. Yeah, Elastigirl, or better yet, Elastawoman. So with her, she'd be one of the members that are superpowered, and it's not like there's been superpowered beings on the Birds of Prey before. I mean, obviously we had Vixen and Big Barda and several other characters there in the past. So with Helen, I could see also she'd be, obviously since she's probably one of the older members of this team, she'd be, very wise and looking at things a little differently. And, with all that superhuman experience she's had, she'd definitely bring a lot of it, she'd bring a lot of her wisdom, and obviously treating a lot of the younger characters like Kim and a few of the other younger girls on this team with a very doting, motherly, just very maternal kind of sense to her. That's how I kind of see it, is that she'd definitely be like the den mother of the team. Yeah, she'd be the team's den mother. Yeah. But yeah, when shit throws down, she would be right there to throw said shit down right back at her enemies. So, and yeah. So I think she would be a great member. Again, a lot of experience, those elastic powers are definitely going to come in handy. And again, she'd definitely also be, again, den mother / mentor to the younger characters, but she wouldn't be having shit from taking shit from the next character on here, along with Chun-Li and probably every other character on this team. And that character is Revy. Now, Revy, you're probably wondering, well, Revy's a psychopathic killer. She's not exactly hero material. But you gotta remember, there was a time period when even Lady Shiva was a member of the team of the Birds of Prey. So I could see Bulma kind of using her as like an asset, because, yeah, Revy's one of the most dangerous women on the planet. So having her on this team is, again, the street-level member, and also the one that kind of does cleanup, if you catch my drift. I could just imagine, they're taking out bad guys left and right, and then they just hear the bang-bang from somebody, and they turn around and see Revy just pumping bullets into a guy who surrendered. And yeah, like I said, the rest of the team would not get along with Revy in the slightest. I don't see them, treating Revy with a lot of respect, and I don't think she would give it back. She would just be shit-talking everybody, bunch of freaks on this team. She'd be smoking a cigarette, just insulting everyone. Oh yeah, her and Chun, out of all the team members, her and Chun-Li would not be getting along. She'd be like, oh, so you kick people? You gotta get in close for that. My gun doesn't need to get close to kill you. Yeah. So her and Chun-Li would just be the ones just constant. She would be going, everyone would be, she'd be at everyone's throat, and she would just be there like, hey, I'm just here to get paid and kill people. That is all I'm here to do. That's all I signed on to do. So with Revy, again, she'd be the wild card, and probably, like I said, she's one of the most dangerous women on the planet. So, I could definitely see Bulma using that kind of her skills to her advantage. So, moving right along to Katara. Yeah, Katara would definitely be another of the younger members of the team, and kind of like the voice of reason, really. She'd be the one who'd be, willing to pull everybody back, and she's very wise for her young age. Albeit, she can get a little ahead of herself from time to time, as we've seen. I could even see her as the team's healer. Now, would that just be her role? Hell no, she would not be just the team's healer. I could see her throwing down with the rest of them. She's one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, waterbender in the Four Nations. She's even capable of bloodbending, even though she doesn't want to do it. But I would imagine if they're interrogating someone during a full moon, she'd be, Bulma would say, Katara, do it. Yeah. But yeah, again, she would be definitely the team's healer, and another meek she wouldn't exactly be meek, but she'd be the one who'd be like, God, if they're going a little too far, she'd be the one to try to pull everyone back, is what I'm saying. But again, when shit throws down, she's got that, that little bottle of water, and she can throw down with the rest of them. So yeah, Katara would definitely be one of the most powerful members on the team, albeit, give her water, which anything, she can use as long as it's a liquid, she could use it. I could imagine, Revy's drinking coffee, and then suddenly Katara just bends the coffee to slap her in the face. Oh, that'd be great. But yeah, even her own sweat can be used as a weapon. So, keep that in mind. Anyway, so there you go, Katara. Following that is Sailor Mars. Yeah, Sailor Mars. Definitely, she'd be kind of like the Zatanna of the team. She's obviously, has magical abilities as well as her own inherent abilities to sense spirits. So, she'd be a very valuable member in case of supernatural threats. And let's not forget, this girl is very competitive and a fire element. Basically her whole power is fire. And not to sound like the whole fire and ice thing, but literally, I could see her and Katara kind of like at each other's throats. Mars is so competitive sometimes, and she can be a little aggressive, and that may clash with Katara's more calmer personality. But trust me, yeah, I could see them, working past their differences and ready to fight together. And again, she'd be useful in case of a supernatural threat like a demon or something of that nature. She has been trained as a priestess as well as a guardian of Earth. And remember, she's one of the most powerful members of the Sailor Scouts. Probably, I'd say, third most powerful, right behind Venus, if we're going to judge. But then again, Jupiter's shown she's pretty powerful. Anyway, that's discussion for another time. But yeah, again, I think Mars would be another valuable member to the team. And finally, the final member of this team would be definitely like this team's powerhouse as well as their vehicle of choice, RC. RC would definitely be the oldest member of the team. Obviously, she's millions of years old, and she is capable of so much firepower, and she's an excellent hand-to-hand fighter, weapons expert, and when things get tough, just call in the giant robot. That's all you gotta do. It's like, well, oh, is that a giant monster? Where's RC? It's like, do we need a ride? Call RC. That would be, it, is that she would be the one to call, they call in to absolutely just annihilate everything in their path and just wreck shit. And then drive off when they're done, Just have a peaceful little drive at the end of the, when all is said and done. But again, she'd be the one, she'd be the, she's obviously has the most experience because, again, she's been fighting in a war that's gone on since, longer than Earth's been around. So, obviously, she'd have a lot of battle experience. And I could definitely see, like, Revy hanging out of RC as they're driving, and she's shooting. And she's like, keep steady, you giant you giant pile of rusted shit. And he's like, don't tell me how to drive. Oh, man. But, yeah, so that is pretty much the team, guys. That is my version of the Birds of Prey team. So you guys tell me, who would you pick for a non-comic Birds of Prey team? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. And thank Chris for his video. Go check out Mount Vernon Kid's channel to see his version of his Birds of Prey. And once again, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.